frontier. This is Football Daft with Stephen Purden,
midfield dynamo and average actor,
Chris Toll,
target man, suspicious character,
and
Hey, the top end of Stevenson,
Welcome to Football Daft, the daftest Scottish football podcast around. My name's Stephen Purden and let's welcome the team. First, a man who this week admitted after watching the Tina Turner documentary that the best is one of his all-time favourite songs. No, it's not Grado. It's not me. It's Chris Toll. You are simply the best, Toll, man.
Tell you what, call you when I need you.
Need you, my heart.
You get at that. See what you sing that. Do that again. What was
You're good at that.
You're good at. I love when you
Come
sing that.
come to me.
Can you do Private Dancer, Toll?
I go do
I'm
something.
your private dancer, dancer for money. Do what you want me to do. There you go.
Imagine, like Stars in the Eyes came back, right? Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be Tina Turner, and then comes Toll.
With the wing and all that.
Wait a minute. Whoa, what's love got to do? Got to do with it.
Fucking Tina Toll. That was brilliant, man. That was
Tina
fucking
Turner.
brilliant.
No, but listen, I have said it on the podcast before now. I hold my hand up. I've always loved Tina Turner if I was a wee guy because of my mum. So, fucking, the fact that the best is one of my favourite songs is fuck all to do with football. It's just the fact that it's an absolute topper. Yeah,
She was some dancer, wasn't she, man? Watching that documentary. I've only watched half it, but
By the way,
Fucking brilliant, man.
she was some dancer, Grado, but she was better in private.
Hey!
And we're
off and
lads.
running. And now let's welcome a man who last week was called out on national television by Jason Cumdog Cummings during the Dundee-Dunfermline match. The quote was, "I am retiring undefeated, and if Grado wants to smoke, he knows where to find me." Grado, what are you saying to that, mate?
oh, the Hibs training centre screw job. I'll tell you that was. Listen, Jason Cummings. I mean, they all want me. They all want to wrestle me. Your bodybuilder the other week, Grant Holt. He fucking trained to be a wrestler. Listen, he can smoke nothing. He can. I'll smoke him. His ass is grass, and I'll smoke him. I'll smash him. I'll smash him the way he smashes his telly. He's a fucking idiot.
Well, there we go. Grado is calling out Cumdog.
So, well, look, we've wanted the Cumdog on for a wee while now.
We have.
And he wants to date in person, so maybe we'll have a wee roll about the flare whenever that does happen, John.
I think that sounds tremendous, to be honest with you.
I think you should bring. Where is he? Who's he playing with now? He's with
Dundee.
I want him to bring a couple of his fucking Dundee muckers.
Tell me, bring James McFake and Martin Hartley, and we'll have a 6-man tag.
Fucking Purden and fucking Tina Toll will take care of all two fucking dafties. Know what I mean?
By the way, we're coming down to We Don't Need Another Hero. That's your entrance music.
We don't need. No, you sing it, Toll.
We don't need another hero.
So what was that thing you were singing there? Was it just you? I was talking. We were talking about children's entertainment, and you sang a song. It was dead funny.
2 wee crows were stacked upon the wall.
I'm telling you, he's good. I've said that. I don't think I've said that. I've said it hundreds of times this podcast. You have got some voice, Toll. You have.
You know what? See, if I looked like Grado or Stephen, I'd be number one all over you.
I remember, right? No, this isn't a word that I lie, right? I'm not going to name the guy. When I was really young and I just started River City, and we done battle, there was this guy I met outside the pavilion. I'm not naming him, right? And he came at us and he's going like, "Wee man, can you sing?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "That's a shame, man, because I want you to release a single and I want to be your manager."
Seriously?
And then I can't sing, and he's like, "Have a wee think about it, but and get back to me." He gave me scared, and he's like, "Honestly, see if you can get that voice working, pal.
By the way, could you not have just done like a Milli Vanilli thing?
Aye, we've done a fucking a Phoebe Buffet, man.
But Bob, did you know, I remember a story, years before I met you, I remember there was a story in the paper, and it might be wrong, maybe one of these made up stories, but I read a story that you were going up to Michelle McManus's house and all that to get singing lessons.
Aye, that was before
Singing lessons, I heard that.
Oh, fucking, it definitely was singing lessons. No, it's
So was you going to her house and all that?
Aye, mate, it's because I had a bet with Mr. Ian Gordon, who is the Pavilion Theatre manager and me and Grado's director on a yearly basis at the Pavilion. And we were doing Pinocchio for the second time. And I was like, I want to sing in this panel. I want to sing. Because you know what it's like, Grado, when folk sing in the panel, they get a big standing ovation. They get a big, it's all right, good. They get a woof. You know what I mean?
Right, it's a whiff.
So I was like, I want to sing. But went to Michelle's house. I think after 5 minutes, Michelle realised. Paul English stayed next door at the time. Paul English is next door. Michelle's arm got up. Paul's like, but you're up here for us. I start for a couple of singing lessons. Not for fun of a man, I mean.
5 minutes later, the cunt's banging the wall. Shut up!
No, fucking 5 years later, I'm in the recording studio with Grado. Grado will tell you how my lessons went. Remember?
Oh, mate. Oh, it's so funny. Because we have to actually record the song in a music studio, like, for real.
Aye.
What was the song you were singing last year, man? What was
What was the one with me and you had to do together?
So do you mime? Do you mime when you're on the stage?
Mate, no. So, mate, well, me and Grado don't really do much, man. We just...
No, I did have a solo. And it
When you wish upon a star makes no
Wait a minute, because I've heard Grado singing. You're a good singer.
Aye, but here's the deal. What was the song again, Bob, that I had to do? It was a solo.
Oh, you were doing it. Was these are crazy.
No, that get kept in. That get kept. But it was last year. What was the song?
Oh, there was a big one.
Like a bird, like a bird, like a bird. What was that again? What was that again? What was that song called? Like a bird, flip like a bird, and the bird, right? And
flip like a bird, like a bird.
Aye, what was it
called?
Come
to your daddy, come to your
daddy, right? I swear to God. But they added all these fucking dance moves into. So I'm flip like a bird, and I'm all like off, and we try to put it all. See, halfway through singing it, I was bust. I thought I was going to have a heart attack.
I don't know if there's many folk who are the heavy professionals that singing and dancing could have done that because it was solid. Ian had it in his head. It was like this big spectacle.
By the way, I know who could have done it.
Who?
Tina Turner. Tina Turner.
But after what 2 shows it got cut, didn't it?
Swim like a bird and talk to your daddy. Swim like a bird and talk to
your daddy. Anyway,
there we get cut.
Let's get to Scottish football. That was good. That was some good anecdotes about the old business and all that there too. Right? But what has been happening in Scottish football this week? Well, I fucking hate it, Troops. It's international weekend. It makes me angry. I don't enjoy it. I didn't see any of the Austria game. I seen who did we play? Israel for the fucking umpteenth time in the last 2 years. I watched that. It's like Scotland just went backwards after qualifying for the Euros. We're just going, nah, we're back to... It's very dull to watch.
We've had more fun.
Do you know what? See, when you look at that team should be way, way better than it is.
Oh, it's a good team, man. It is, isn't it?
I've always felt that for years with the Scotland teams. I've always...
Every one of the players in that starting 11, maybe what I will say is, you know, we're starting with 2 Motherwell defenders, and Motherwell are fucking languishing at the bottom of the league, right? So it's a wee bit dodgy for me, right? But when you look at every single individual in that team's a good player. I don't know what happens to Andy Robertson when he puts a Scotland cap on.
Aye.
Mate, I would... Tierney's wasted where he is as well, right? And see if Robertson isn't playing well, which he's not been playing well when I've seen him. He's not had a good season. You've got to try Tierney there and then just get another fucking centre-half to play centre-half and put Tierney where he is. Because there was a couple of times on it against Israel, Tierney did get forward a few times and he does look a threat. He really looks a threat. And you know who looks decent, who's a good, what you call it, an international signing these days? I don't know. Shea Adams. He looks class. He looks class. He does. But
he looks a wee level above the rest of them, doesn't he?
He does, mate. He does. But I think with the players you've got there, it's a really, really decent team. But again, the other night there was big chunks of that game where we made Israel look like fucking Brazil.
I know. I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Their goal was a cracker, right enough.
I think Marshall still saved it, mate.
Aye, so they are.
But Toll, see how, did you not find that a graft, and John, did you not find that a graft watching, what, I mean, I don't think last Thursday was as bad as what it was on Sunday, but Sunday for me was, I can't take any of this.
I know.
Second half performances were a lot better when he changed the shape and changed it around. The second half performances were a lot better, but as you said, the players we have in there, we should be doing better. I mean, is it, you know, Steve Clark's got a style which he set up with Kilmarnock, you know, not to be beaten, you know, get at. And the good news is we're not leaking stupid goals really now. That's the
mate, I get that and I agree with that, right? But Steve Clark sets his teams up a certain way. How many times do you need to play Israel to know how to beat them?
Aye.
Fuck's sake, how many times have we played them? Surely we must go, right, we are a better team than them. Right?
If we beat them in 90 minutes.
I don't know, have we? I don't think so.
I think we beat them at Hampden, didn't we?
I beat them at Hampden, we did beat them at Hampden.
Aye, no, but was that not a draw? Did we not beat them in penalties?
No, but we did. The 100th time we played them before, we beat them at Hampden.
I just think it's, honestly, it depresses me, but there was a wee kind of certain, don't know about you, Grado, a wee bit of satisfaction sitting, sorry, Toll, I'm not rubbing it in again, but I'm still high as a kite after winning the league. So there was this wee kind of thing sitting during the international break going, fuck it, we're champions. You know what I mean? Just sitting there going, it's great, man, just sitting watching this going, it's fine, the league's won. Do you know what I mean?
You're no worried about players coming back injured. Well, obviously you are, but not to the extent. I totally agree with you, because
was there any but obviously there's players all over the world. I was just thinking, was there any Rangers players in the squad?
No, I don't think there was. It was Ryan Jack until we played.
John McLaughlin.
Who'll
maybe play against the Pharaohs. Either him or Craig Gordon. But I don't know, man. Don't know. It was nice. But talking of winning leagues and getting back to normal football, let's have our weekly discussion. That's what's becoming now. Every week we're talking about the Celtic management situation. Rumours at the weekend of Eddie Howe looking at flats in Glasgow.
Is that true?
I don't know, but Diego Laxalt playing Fortnite and saying, I'll find out tomorrow. You've got this guy in Otto, I meant to say this to you in the group chat, the former Borussia Dortmund manager. I had a
look at his history. And I was quite excited when I read about him.
If I was a Celtic fan, he'd be going to the top of the list now for me. When you look at his kind of CV.
Did you read his Wikipedia, Stevie?
No, do you know what I did read? I read on Twitter, one of our former guests, Derek Ray, who knows his German football, as we know. He was going through it and he broke it down really well. It was like a 6-page thread on Twitter and he went through what he's done, all this, and
I
wouldn't want him getting a job, I don't think.
Do you know what? I read his Wikipedia and see the way that they broke down how he is tactically and all that. I was really quite impressed. But then again, that is Wikipedia. And as you know, if you've ever listened to the show, once we get to the quiz and John asks a question about goals scored, Wikipedia's never got anything fucking right, has it? So
it was you can't go with Wikipedia. And also the same about the Eddie Howe stuff with the flats. Does that just start up as a Twitter rumour, or was there pictures?
Do you honestly think that Eddie Howe would be looking at flats? Do you not think someone would go out, get him a flat?
Aye, exactly.
Is it one of the ones where folk are like trying to be funny, you know, like, I spotted Roy Keane fucking smoking rollies outside the Goose and all that carry on, and home base, you know what I mean? Ian Wright was in home base and all that push, innit?
And this week you've seen Ian Wright in home base. Ian Wright was at the Ford's retail park.
But that seems to, I
remember I was going to the bars, man, and fucking E.L. Berkovic was coming out of birds, man. But Thierry Henry as well, saying he's got a bit of respect for Celtic. What are you thinking this week, Toll? You're leaning more towards, what's his name? Is it Lucien Favre?
I still want Eddie Howe, but Lucien Favre would be, you know, it wouldn't be the marquee appointment, but it would maybe be the right appointment. But it's, you know what I mean, see whoever comes in, as long as they do well, they're getting my support anyway. I just don't want Roy Keane, and I don't.
Well, you'll be happy. I was going to say, Toll, you'll be happy that the Keane talks mega died down. I feel anyway.
That has. It's kind of diluted a wee bit, isn't it?
Definitely. Aye.
Well,
I don't know. Listen, it's Celtic, they might reappoint Neil fucking Lennon.
What do you think the odds are with John? No, literally the odds in the bookies. I'm just saying, what do you think, Told? Do you think there's a chance he'll stick with Kennedy? No,
I don't think so, mate.
They
I don't
can't.
think so. I think they know the feeling amongst the fans now, man. They know the feeling amongst the fans, and do you know what? See if Scott Brown and if John Kennedy's as good a coach as they say, and he gets let go, then he'll walk into another job, or he might end up at Aberdeen as a coach or something like that, along with Bruni. So we'll see, But I don't think he's the right man for the job, and I think Celtic, the board, know that.
Well, that is the views of Tina Toll, and we will find out soon. Hopefully, we'll find out soon, and hopefully it's not the big man from Germany. I'm not really wanting him there. Hopefully it's Roy Keane, but we never know. We'll talk about it probably on the open line later. And another thing we might talk about is Brora Rangers being declared Highland League champions after playing only 3 games as we speak to assistant manager
Holy shit, do you
Craig
get
Campbell on the open line. Aye.
Do you get the Highland Championship if you fuck Hearts in the cup, aye?
But, it's funny, right? I'm just reading that. This is a bit like Kelty. Kelty got handed the Now the Buffs were I mean, I know these clubs have only played these leagues have only played at 13 games, but it looks as if I'm just trying to see the West of Scotland League. I don't know if it's been confirmed, but the Buffs were the top of the West of Scotland or the Ayrshire League. I can't remember exactly what it's called, and I think it's just been cancelled. Like, they've not been made champions. And I was just double checking it on Google to see if there's an update on it. The Daily Record. You type in Cowan and Rangers into the Daily Record, man. The top story for 5 hours ago. Buffs legend Jerry Pelini says Club can map out bright future. I'm buzzing with that.
Ah, Jerry, fine.
It's the papers, man.
Jerry's in the papers this week,
Jerry's
man.
the paper today, man.
Yeah, mate, I swear to God, man, see if we keep this podcast going, man, there's going to come a season where the Buffs approach you for like director of football or something, Grado, man.
I mean, with Jerry as a manager.
The dream team, man. Like John Barnes and Kenny Dow, man.
Mate, that's exactly
Grado and Jerry Pelini.
Jerry.
Doing the first press conference for a pub in Stevenson, man.
No, for fucking Vanilla Joe's.
That'd be brilliant, man. And on the big question this week, we ask, what is that one thing your mate or someone that sits in the stands near you shouts at every game? And our big guest this week is a midfield maestro who'd played for 10 different Scottish clubs, but is mostly known for his spells at Dundee and Partick Thistle. It is none other than Gary Harkins.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Call them now on 01698 767 172.
This is Football Daft. We're feeling good. We're feeling groovy. It is Friday and it's podcast time, and it's time to talk to G4 Claims. And on the line now, we have none other than from G4 Claims HQ. It's Nicole. Nicole, how are we diddling?
I'm good, thanks. How about yours?
Oh,
Groovy.
Well, doing well, we're all groovy here.
Spot on. We're on top. We're on the ball today, but we want to know more about G4 Claims.
What about groovy claims? Okay.
Is that what the G stands for?
Groovy 4 Claims, man.
Groovy 4 claims.
I'm trademarking that.
Keep to it. So, guys, if you're involved in any sort of accident, phone G4 Claims first. We can help you from the roadside. Now, why would you contact your own insurance? Don't think for a minute that you can't be helped and you need to contact your own insurance. We can help you. And if we can, we'll point you in the right direction. Don't accept liability for an accident if you're not sure. Phone us first and let us help you. So we can provide you with a like-for-like replacement car. We can get your car either, if it's written off, we'll get you the value back for your car. And we'll make sure that it's a good value and you're covering all your finance and everything. We don't want you to be ever out of pocket. If your car is going to be repairable, we'll get it put into one of our approved body shops, or you in a body shop of your choice, whatever you want to do with your car, because it's your car, it's your choice. We'll make sure that all of that's looked after. If you've suffered any sort of personal injury from the accident, we can help you with that as well. And everything we do for you is totally free of charge. Yes, I say it again, it is free of charge. We bill everything to the at-fault insurance. So guess what, guys? If you're involved in any sort of accident, and by the way, we're getting calls, so I know yous are listening, and I love saying it every week. G4 claims, not involved claims, maybe.
Groovy.
It's the Football Daft Open Line. It is the open line where anything goes. Should we talk about Shea Logan heading to Hearts? Maybe you want to talk about the suspension of the 5 Rangers players for the COVID breaches? Or should we just talk about your favourite Tina Turner song with Tina Toll? Up to you. You can do what you want. As usual, we've got a panel of football experts. Stephen Keevans, Graham Goody, and of course Chris Delahunt. And let's go on to our first caller on the open line today, and it is Gav.
What's your question, Gav?
My question, it's been a fortnight now since the Glenn Kamara incident.
Yep.
How do we keep this in the spotlight so that this doesn't happen again? Whether it be at a European level, a domestic level, how do we stop everything that's happened from having no effect? The last year, Black Lives Matter has been very prominent in football. The racial inequality is something that we're dealing with in our day-to-day lives. We know we can see it, and we need to make sure that what happened to Glenn Kamara and the aftermath, the anger that was felt from, I would dare say, the full of Scottish football, the support that had come across, everything from Motherwell and Dundee United taking a stand to seeing Scott Brown going speaking to him before the Old Firm game was massive for me as well. As a Rangers fan, I've not exactly got a lot of respect for Scott Brown, but that was massive. Things like that need to be highlighting what's happening. We need to highlight what's happening in the bit that was hard for me was the Goldson interview.
Aye.
That was heartbreaking.
Aye.
It was.
That was heartbreaking. I mean, surely it comes down to making sure this guy's punished severely and no let it go under the radar.
Aye, there needs to be precedent set. There needs to be examples made. But the problem, you've got obviously like me, Grado and Toll having the answers of how we get rid of this, so we wouldn't be fucking sitting here with we would. You know what I mean? But it's first and foremost, the guy needs to come out and admit what he's done. Slavia Prague need to come out and they need to hammer him, but it doesn't seem to be going that way. It seems to be.
They've just released another statement and again, they're painting this player to be the victim now.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. So that's your problem right away. Where the club, I mean, you seen one of his teammates staring at him. The stare he gave him. It was like a death stare he gave him when he knew what he'd done. And you're going, the club can't even come out and fucking deal with it. So,
Stevie, it's not just that. He played for Slovakia or whoever it is that he plays for.
Czech Republic.
He played for the Czech Republic, you know.
Do you see Bale get in for the elbow?
So the thing is, I don't know, Gavin. I don't know where it ends. I don't know how you end it. What I do know is, like, Slavia should be making an example of this guy. He should be getting the fucking book flung at him, but it doesn't look like it's gone that way. So I don't know how you fix these problems in society, man.
Yeah, with the greatest will in the world, it's an Eastern European side, right? Like over there, and especially it's very prevalent in Russia and places like that as well, where it's the fans kind of run the show.
Aye, well, you've seen the fans with the banner, the big banner.
Exactly. The fans kind of run the show, and their president came out and said, "Aye, that banner's an embarrassment to the club and all that." I'll guarantee you that guy won't be there next season.
But the other part of that as well, Toll, is that they had all the chanting at Nelson Semedo at Barcelona and at Lukaku, and then then we're wanting an apology for Lukaku for being racially abused.
Aye, that's
exactly.
I know. They've got a history.
Wait a minute, what was it? Was it Moise Keane?
Yeah,
he played for Juventus,
and
he actually had to leave Italian football because of how bad the racial abuse he was getting was, and that was for his own punters as well, his own fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See when I think back to it, I really do. I wish your players just walked off the pitch that night.
No, I mean, you think about it in hindsight. I mean, but obviously, you
I was saying
can't
to the
really.
missus at the time, there's 2 minutes left in the game and all.
Aye.
I know, but see, the thing is, if you walk off the park, you risk getting a European ban.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what you need to think about. Rangers as a club just now need European football. We know that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But
They need European
But
football.
I think something like that, I know you're right, Tol, you do risk a European ban there, but something massive like that does need to happen at some point to put an end to this, because you can't, right, UEFA, I don't know, nobody seems to be dealing with it, right? Nobody seems to, even players taking the knee now, that's meaning nothing. Players on the whack taking the knee now, it's just a gesture. You need more than token gestures. Something needs to...
Do you know where it needs to happen? It needs to happen at an international tournament. A Euros or a World Cup. See, for a team to walk off during that, and by the way, not just a fucking a wee team like a Hungary or a Finland or something like that. They need a Spain or
an England
exactly, an England or one of these teams. They need one of them to walk off, like a Brazil or something like that. You know what I mean?
See the hate I've got for this club when they, and again, how they're allowed to release these statements after statements, and they're talking about about Kamara punching him in the tunnel. And they've basically said that he called him a guy, right? Right. So why would Kamara want to fucking batter a guy? It's just
plus why would you cover your mouth
to say that? Do you know what I mean? So how can they? Surely to God, the full world is looking at them and seeing that they're digging a hole, digging it bigger and bigger and bigger, and it needs to something needs to be done right away, man.
You know what it is? It's as if they're just flinging shit at the wall and hoping something it sticks.
See if they turned around and made an example of this guy and done what they needed to do and basically
that's the start, mate. That's the first thing that needs to happen with something. An example needs to get made of someone who is committing these race crimes. Something needs to happen.
Does it need to be tougher sanctions that are put in place by all the bodies?
The player needs to get hammered. The players' club needs to get hammered, even though it's not the club's fault. But there needs to be rules where it goes bigger, because stuff's gestures and that. It's getting near.
Well, do you know what they do? They do it with the fans. See, when it comes to like fireworks and shit like that, and banners in the crowd, the club gets fined. Right,
exactly, mate.
And then the club comes out and goes like that. See, if you fucking do that again, these are banned for life.
There needs to be more policing of that's on the pitch as well. I think it goes to the stands as well. However, there needs to be more policing. Fans need to be policing each other. If you hear a shout at the football, because we've all heard it, we've all been in the stand.
Do you know what? I heard it once at Celtic Park. And see the guy that said it, he got a fucking bat in the mouth off somebody.
Aye,
so he did.
Good.
Do you know what I mean? And that's the God's honest truth. It was Celtic versus Wraith Rovers. Somebody said something about Tony Rougier, and the guy that was sitting in front of him turned around and punched him right in the fucking mouth.
Good.
Wow. Really?
Good. Swift justice.
Exactly.
It's just a shame UEFA haven't got anything like that.
Exactly, mate.
Absolutely.
Imagine that, but imagine UEFA had a guy in each row that punched somebody for saying something bad.
just turned around and hooked Cadell in the face. That's it. You didn't need to wait for a week for Gareth Bale to elbow him.
Brilliant. Well, Gavin, really important point raised, and thank you very much for coming on the Open.
Thank you, Gavin. That was lovely, mate.
That was actually a good debate there. Thanks very much for that.
Let's move on to the next call on the open line, and let's get on it. Chris O'Brien.
Chris O'Brien. That sounds like a Celtic
supporter. Big Rangers fan.
Is he a Rangers fan? Oh, no.
How you doing, Chris?
I'm alright, boys.
How's it going, Chris, mate? You alright?
I'm good. How are you?
What are you saying to today, mate?
Yeah, man, is that not the same guy as the last caller? With a hat on, but...
I know what you
mean. Chris, you're through the panel, sir. What do you want to say this week, mate?
Well, it's a bit of a long-winded one, so it's a question for off worries if you want to answer. So, a few years ago, I stay in a wee place called Gorebridge in Midlothian. A few years ago, I was walking along the street and I seen this boy walking about with a sky jacket on. And he was going in door to door selling stuff. And the closer I got, I'm lacking his face. It turns out that it was actually Graham Smith, ex-Rangers and Motherwell goalkeeper, selling sky door to door.
I know Smitty. I'm pally with Smitty.
Aye. And he's playing your Feelers pub, didn't he?
He actually did, Grado. He was like, see the night that you got into the UEFA Cup final.
Did he buy you Hunters a sweeties to cheer you up?
No, mate, he came in and I bought him a bottle of champagne because his team had managed to get into the UEFA Cup final.
It's so funny seeing you doing that, man. Pure sitting there. There you go, Smitty, my man. There you go. That's funny.
Let Chris tell his story to us.
Aye, sorry.
Aye, so, I mean, it was sound like he stood and talked to me for ages and he was talking to the kids and all the rest of it. But my question is, what's the weirdest place you've ever bumped into any footballer, past or present?
That's a great question.
I've got a topper, man.
That's a great question.
Oh, right.
I've got a few. The first one that jumps out for me was in my job that I work in, my shoot job as we call it. I was getting up the lift, right, and I got to the fucking top floor, and there was removal men taking stuff out. And the removal man turned round and it was fucking Chick Charnley.
Do you know what? I had one just the other week there. So I work on my shoot job. I work on Quite One breakfast show, and I phoned up this guy. We do the 5K minute, and this boy had entered the 5K minute, and I'm we phoned him back, to get them on the radio the next day, and the name said Andy Rogers. I'm like. And then it said Falkirk next to it. And I went, it can't be the same Andy Rogers that played for Falkirk. So I'm on the phone to him saying, all right, mate, you coming on the radio tomorrow? Great. Getting all his details. And I said, you didn't happen to play for Falkirk, did you? He says, aye, I did actually. Aye. So it was Andy Rogers, the ex-pro footballer.
And he won $5,000 because John gave him the answers.
But there you go. So that was my one for a couple of weeks ago.
You go on, Bob.
I remember... Years ago, me and Nicola, when we first got together, we went to Lanzarote, and my mum and dad and my wee brother was just born at the time. They were in a different part, and they were in Playa Blanca. Me and Nicola were in Costa de Keys, and we went through to meet them. And they says, meet us down the stair in the hotel, at the wee cafe bit next to the pool, and we sat down, and I went to the bar to get a couple of drinks, and there was a guy standing next to me, and I recognised him, but I didn't know, I couldn't quite picture who it was. And he was sitting at the table next to us, and he came down, and my dad went, that's Robbie Errol. Just random going into Robbie Errol in Lanzarote. Do you know what I mean? Just weird.
Mine's just not that good. Mine was at Brayhead Shopping Centre years ago. I seen a guy sitting himself outside the shops, and I just sat next to him. I was like, do you not play football?
Did you enjoy football growing up?
I was like, you know a football player? And he went, aye man, kinda. I was like, who'd you play for? He's like, I think he was playing with St Mirren at the time, maybe St Mirren. I was like, aye. I was like, did you not play for Rangers or not when you were a boy? He's like, aye. It was Stephen Dobie. Aye, Stephen Dobie.
You told him that story when he was on the podcast, Grado.
I'm sure I mentioned that to him, did we not?
Aye, you said that to him when he was on
did I?
Aye.
And then of course...
Well, Grado's pure recycling his content.
I know, mate, because I
know. Stevie,
all right, then it was fucking Stephen Hughes.
I thought you were going to go like, it was Diego Maradona.
Aye.
Mate, I know.
Really, I tell you what, that's such a good question, Chris. We're going to make that the big question.
That's great.
Next week.
That's a good one.
Strangest place you've met a footballer. That's an absolute cracker.
And then Grado's going to say he was at Silverburn, man, and bumped into bloody Jockey Scott sitting outside.
Fabrizio Ravanelli sleeping on a couch.
Superb, brilliant. Thank you.
Cheers, Chris.
See you later, Chris.
No bar, boys. Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
All right.
And now let's welcome a special guest on the open line for our third call today. He's the Brora assistant manager. They've just won the league title after 3 games, and he's been giving it tight to Ewen Cameron on the social media. It is Craig Campbell.
How we doing, everyone?
How you doing, mate?
Good, you?
All good. Hey, congratulations, by the way.
What on?
Well, there is a few things, isn't there? There's the what we picking. We like the Hearts get bait, and we like the heat that he's the shit that he's getting you in Cameron on the wireless.
I would say I would
win the league and all.
Oh, that's it. Aye, there's 3.
That's it. First team to win the league after only 3 games.
So Cammy, when you look back to the start, I mean, it's been a long season. How's the journey been?
It's been a tough season. What work we've put in.
No, but mate, honestly, I've been loving the absolute shitehousery you've been putting towards Ewen Cameron. It's been brilliant. Has he said anything back? Has he been replying to you?
Aye, mate. He messaged me saying he's waiting for his time. So he says if we get beat by Stranraer on Saturday, he'll have a video posted online before I manage to get into the changing rooms after the game.
But see, the thing is, Cammy, that doesn't put hearts into the next round, so tell him just to shut the fuck up.
You're absolutely right there, mate. I'm happy with that. You know what I mean? We've pumped his team. That's good enough for me.
I mean, what a result that was. What was that like? Because I think, what was it? Was it 2-1, wasn't it?
Aye, mate.
2-1.
It was.
So, where did you score the second goal? In the 70th minute or something like that?
Yeah, we went 1-0 up in the first half, and then they equalised with about 20 minutes to go or something like that. And then we thought the boys were looking dead in their legs, and we thought, oh no, uphill task now. But no, we went up the park and actually scored again a few minutes after they equalised. So it was brilliant.
You must have been going absolute bush, you know.
It was phenomenal in the changing rooms, and it was pretty wild. And then everyone was running about asking, "Where's the bevy?"
Yeah, did you at any point did you get wrecked and slide across the flare on your stomach?
Mate, I was actually contemplating it, but I never quite got that far. I left that with Stevie G. You know what I mean?
I suppose
leave it for the wee Rangers.
Absolutely.
I suppose it is a bit of a gutter, but with the old COVID and that, because I can imagine a result like that in normal circumstances, you were probably paired it for days in each other's hooses, and
that's what all the boys were talking about it. And obviously, it was a Tuesday night as well, so most of the boys were working on Wednesday.
Aye.
So it was absolute gutter. So hopefully, we can beat Stranraer this weekend, and then we'll make up for it.
But that must be some start, is it no? Stranraer for Brora? What is that?
I'll take them. I would say a good 6 hours. I would imagine. So thank fuck, we're not heading down there.
Brilliant. The thing with the stuff with Ewen Cameron, man, I saw him tweet it and going like, "This guy's obsessed with me." But deep down, you know, he loves all that.
No, that's what I was going to say.
Piers Morgan, you know what I mean?
Aye. I'm getting
pound shop Piers Morgan.
He's happy enough to give it out, so I thought he could take a wee bit.
You're right.
You're
Good
right,
on
mate.
you.
You're right.
Good on you. That's brilliant.
Even,
well, do you know what?
You and Cammy have got something in common. The both of you just tear you into fucking ribbons, don't you?
I'm not going to let it go with him either. If we get another win on Saturday, he'll be getting even more pelters.
Mate, it could be like a shot at glory. It could be like Kilnockie, couldn't it? Remember Kilnockie? They went all the way. It's a bit like that, isn't it?
That's absolutely.
It is like that.
Win on Saturday, and that's in the last 16.
How's it no? Because
they've not got Ali McCoy's playing.
Well, yeah. Well, Ali McCoy's didn't select to the third round for Kilnockie, did he know? Was it the third or fourth round? I can't remember. I can't remember.
To be fair, Ali McCoy's big fan of Brora now too.
Aye.
There we go, mate. There we go.
Get in there.
Aye.
Super coisty.
Is a 3 o'clock kick-off at the weekend, mate?
Aye, yeah.
Mate, I'm going to be keeping tabs on that. Honestly, I really hope you go through, man. I really do.
Definitely.
Tune in, pay-per-view, you know what I mean? 12 quid, value for money.
But we'll get it in the fire stick.
Brilliant.
Cammy, brilliant, mate. Thanks for coming on, mate. I really appreciate it, bud.
No bother, thank you.
Cheers, Cammy.
Cheers. All the best, boys.
All the best. Morning, Brora.
Yes. Football Daft's big question.
Right, boys. When we take it back to the football, hopefully it's soon, right? But remember the days when we did go to football, right? And it was always that one person who, without fail, every match said the same thing, whether it's your mate or some stranger that sat near you for years. We all know what to expect each week from them. So this week, we wanted to know who that guy is and what did they shout. Grado, I mean, you always get like fucking hospitality and that. There's not much shouting going on at your bits, you know what I mean? So, I'll come to you, mate.
Right, so Stevie, there was a guy that sat behind me all the time at Celtic Park and he would shout, "There's far too much football getting played here."
It's a love that classic, honestly.
And honest to God, man, it was as if we could be winning 4-0 playing the sexiest football you've seen in your life. And I think he done it to try and get yourself over, Grado.
I know what you mean. Mate, there was loads of guys in the junior games that would always do that. Let's say this, playing fit my shite and get up the park.
Get up the park!
Get up the park, that's tippy-tappy. That's tippy-tappy's knee, yes.
See when I used to go and follow my mate, as you know, East Stirling, right? And see when they would come to Coat Bridge to play Albion Rovers, They used to point at the Albion Rovers stand and just sing, self-assembly, self-assembly, self-assembly furniture. Just pointing at the fucking Albion. If you've ever seen the Albion Rovers stand, you'll know exactly why they fucking done it, man.
There was also, you know, I always going about the guy, we don't want 5, we want 6 when the Buffs
I
played.
love that.
But he also used to shout, it was, you know, one of the ones where it was also dead quiet. Come on, ye Buffs! Come on, ye Buffs!
One of the ones where no cunt would join in.
Aye. Who's got the ye? Come on, ye
Buffs!
So, great. What was hospitality like at Buffs Park?
Funnily enough, I did manage to do hospitality at one of the last ever games. You're laughing, man. It was brilliant. There was like chicken wings and all that. And
but see when you're going to like watch a game, did they just like put like wee cones on you? That's
no, there was a wee, what do you call it? Portable.
The Polish fucking tape.
Who's getting the tape? Who's getting the tape? Never mind the tape, just get the cones, get the cones.
He's standing in the corner with 4 cones with Polish tape round it holding a chicken wing.
I know it's not football, but you were saying on the group chat about when you were playing golf, there was one guy who just kept saying the same thing over and over.
He kept going, hey, come on, Grado. Every time I was about to take
I love this.
Come on, Grado. Come on, Grado. Get into the dance floor, Grado. Get into the dance floor. This one's going to the dance floor. Right, come on, Grado boy. Get into the dance floor. That's it. This one's in the dance floor.
Oh, it's funny you say that about golf and all. I know we're talking about football, right? But see, golf, see whenever you're watching it in the telly and somebody hits a shot and it's going on to the green, all you hear is one person in the crowd, get in the hole!
Aye,
Just
always,
one person, man.
Aye.
Always.
And then I think I also said in the group chat and all about my mate that every time he's watching boxing, because he done boxing training when he was young, so he thinks he's like a pro. We're watching like Ricky Hatton. 1-2 jab, Ricky. That's it. 1-2 jab. 1-2 jab. Come on, 1-2 jab.
See if number 3 is a jab, what is 1 and 2?
I know. One Ricky, 1-2 jab.
1-2 jab, Ricky. 1-2 jab.
It's like you'd always get the thing like Nicholas Ferrer, if something's happening, watching the boxing or something. It's like they start getting aggressive, telling you, like you're saying there, they're like, what 1-2 jab, what did you do there? 1-2.
I take it.
I mean, fucking. Aye, Stephen, can you see this? Look, fucking 1-2. I'm telling you.
The amount of money he's getting paid, and I can tell him.
Do you know what one I liked? I liked, John, you were telling us in the group chat about your pal that was shouting. What was it he was saying?
He's like my mate, and I'm going to out him because he listens to this show. Ross Wayne, who watched the football for 20 odd years or whatever, and the one thing he always shouts is "Push out! Push out!" Every single game without doubt. It's push out!
His wife must have loved having him in the fucking delivery room.
It's like there's a guy who used to sit behind me when I had my first fucking years ago in the Broomy. Every time without doubt, no matter who's getting the ball, ping it! Ping it! And you're like, what's wrong with just passing it? Why are you always going to ping it? And it's dead aggressive. Fucking ping it! Ping it!
We've all had one person that sits next to us as well that shouts, switch it. No matter what.
All the time.
Big switch is on! Big switch is on, Tav!
Or whoever's got the ball in the middle of the park, wide! Wide! Wide!
Or you always get the ball, in one! Like,
what, he's screaming for it! He's screaming
for it!
Fuck's sake, Tav, big switch! Oh, God. But let's get to some of the listeners, guys.
The listeners.
Yeah. Right. Keith Richardson's got in touch. Guy behind the Ibrox used to always shout, get in! He had a mad fit one day and shouted, get in! About 10 times in a row. The Egypt was gone mental after the game. The night we beat Parma 2-0, shouting and bawling that we should have beat them by more.
A mad fit.
A mad fit. Get in! Get in! Get in!
Martin Sheffield says, Guy a few rows behind me at Celtic Park always shouts at the other team's keeper. No wonder your wife nicks about you dick.
Ian Grant, he says, any game in Australia, there's always one wag in every stadium who, after the final whistle was blown in the first minute, shouts, he's been doing it all game, ref. Shut the fuck up, dude. I stopped being funny 10 years ago. What?
It stopped being funny.
It stopped being funny.
But Grado, thanks for
Aye.
That's accurate.
Aye, Ian, thank you for that. Gavin has got in touch also. Only one has to be the guy that shouts, "Come on the wheel!" every
The well, mate.
No, I know, but I was trying to say it like your guy. Okay, what is he saying?
Come on, ye buffs.
Come on, ye buff. I mean, you're saying the wheel.
No, I know, I was trying to impersonate that guy that you
That's
were
not
saying.
like Moose, mate. That's not like
I know,
Moose.
mate, sorry, I don't want to fucking, I know. Come on the wheel, every game constant. Or the guy that shouts, "Give him a kiss, ref."
Oh, for
Thanks for that,
sake.
Gavin.
Barry says, boy beside me at Pittodrie used to make a noise with his mouth to sound like a vuvuzela after they were used at the World Cup in South Africa. He done it non-stop. He really thought he was good as a boy from Police Academy.
Scott says it wasn't a shout, but the guy that sat near my mate at Ibrox used to use his fingers as a gun to shoot the away fans. Best bit was when he stopped to reload. That's funny. That's funny.
That's quite good. That's good.
And I know that reminds me. And I know this is a podcast you can't see, but do you ever remember we guys at the football would always do this? Let's see, they're going to do the wanker sign, but do that with the middle finger and go like that. They'd like, do the middle finger and the wank like that.
Weird, isn't it, man?
What is that?
I think it was just the one cunt that used to go to every stadium.
Aye. It was a pure fucking double dunter and insult, man. You're getting called a wanker and he's giving you the Vicky at the same time. But Graham's got in touch as well, says, the lassie next to me constantly shouts, "Let's go Bears," at Ibrox.
Oh, that's quite cute.
Ah, that's nice.
Alan Muir says at times I'd go with my mates to Ibrox when his brother couldn't make it. It was an old deal that sat behind us in the main stand who used to constantly shout at players, "Yeah, great gullet!" we were about 10 and would find it hilarious.
I think that's brilliant. I love that. Yeah, great galoot. I love that. Great galoot. Love that. Right, David says the guy a few seats along from me at Celtic Park shouts, "Sell him!" every single time a player misses a shot, don't pass. It was funny the first time. Here we are 12 seasons later. Sell him!
Yeah, if he was fucking saying it this season, he had 18 left, man. Nico's got in touch. Non-football related, but the guy behind me at Parkhead used to constantly shout, he hates his wife. I hate my wife.
By the way, I think it was me that sat behind him at Parkhead.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Find them on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at G4 Claims Limited.
It's the player profile playoff with piesports.com. Try and say that after a couple of drinks. Obviously, Scottish football fans love the pies. We eat over 1 million a year, and we can bring you the real taste of Scottish football right to your home with piesports.com. Get one of their amazing patches. They've got some brilliant pies up there. Grado, what's your favourite pie from piesports.com?
Right now I'm loving the chicken curry. Superb. They're all really good.
Is that the Mr. Sings one?
Mr. Sings, that's right.
Oh,
party
dynamite,
We'll all
dynamite.
invite it. So
Absolutely.
superb. Explosion of happiness.
Well, there you go. And
the gub.
you can have them delivered to your door. Just head to their website, it's piesports.com. They deliver free of charge for a lot of postcodes across Scotland. You'll get them on a Friday or Saturday for the games, which is great news. Or you can call their hotline 0141 739 9999, 0141 739 9999. So every week on Football Daft, we like to try and give away a package of pies to one of the listeners. But this week it's a bit of podcast wars as we welcome to Football Daft Stevie from Four Lads Had a Dream. How you doing, Stevie?
How you doing, John? All right.
Wait, hold on a minute here. Hold on a minute, right? We get enough hassle about being a Rangers podcast, and then you bring on another fucking Rangers podcast.
I don't think we take it.
Nah,
I don't know.
do you know what it's one of the ones too. None of the Celtic boys want to come on it.
Right.
No,
by the way, do you blame us this fucking season?
This is very true. Well, I tell you what, we'll reach out to 20 Minute Tims next week and see if we can get one.
Just leave him, John. Just leave him.
So Stevie, thanks for coming on. We're going to play the game, and I don't know if you've heard it before. I'll explain the rules. Basically, we're going to go back to a season in Scottish football. I'm going to read out a description of a player. If you know the player, you simply buzz in with your allocated buzzer, which we'll get from you in a minute. But if you do buzz in, you can't continue, okay? And you hand the control of the game over to our player. First to 2 wins, okay? So this week, boys, we are heading back to the 04-05 season. Any thoughts and memories of that?
04, was that maybe Novo
Rangers won the league.
Rangers signing that season.
A helicopter changed direction.
Correct.
Yes.
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
Smashed it on your foot, too. Tell you about it.
Aye, sorry.
It was Scottish Cup win for Celtic, and Rangers won the double that year with the League Cup and the Premier League. And of course, Falkirk won the first division that year.
Nobody cares, John. Nobody cares.
Well, just throw that one in.
Did you get promotion, John?
We did get promotion in that season.
Was your stadium big enough, John?
Third time of trying.
Was your gazebo big enough?
So, listen, let's get to the players then. And since you've been cheeky toe about the Bairns, you can play. Do you know what? We're setting up an old firm derby here, and you can play Stevie, all right?
Fuck off.
Oh, I love a good old firm.
He looks as if he knows what he's talking about. I don't want anything to do with this. He looks like an arsticle.
Mate, I'm just here because somebody said something about pies.
Right, okay then. So we're going to get your first player. First of all, I need your buzzer, Stevie. What's your buzzer going to be?
Oof. Can I just shout 55? Is that all
can
right? I don't
do
want to upset
that,
this.
Yeah, it's fucking original, innit?
So what's your original buzzer going to be this week?
56.
Okay then, right. First player out, boys. You ready? This is quite easy. I think you'll be quick off the mark here. This was the debut season for this Croatian striker in Scottish
56.
football.
55.
Chris
Oh, Jelic.
It's not!
I think I've already said his name.
Do you want me to continue? Or do you want to
I've said his
answer?
name, Bob, innit?
Right, on you go, Stevie, on you go.
The one and only Dado Purcell.
Oh, you bastard.
He goes like that. You get any memories of 2004-5 and I went
Dado
Nacho
Novo?
Wait a minute. Jelic wasn't even Croatian, was he?
Jelic was Croatian.
2010, I don't think.
Right, Toe, you need this one to stay in the game, son.
Boy, Stevie, boy!
This could be a whitewash here. Right, here we go. This striker signed for Inverness Cali after joining in November as player manager.
56.
Chris Toe.
I fucked it. I've dived in. But wait a minute, give me a second. I signed it as player manager.
You should have 10 seconds, by the way.
John Robertson, I don't know.
Nah, I'll continue with the clue, Stevie. This was to be his first spell at the club after John Robertson left for Hearts, and he went on to score 10 goals in 31 appearances before leaving to manage at Dundee United.
Oh, no.
Stevie.
I don't know.
Oh!
I think if I go to... Do
Right.
you go to Toe? Because I think I might have it, but I could be
Craig
completely...
will give them the answer.
Is it Christie? No.
No, Stephen,
You bastard.
Stephen
He's too
Purden.
old.
I can't believe it. No, Craig Brewster.
Oh,
Big Brewster!
Big Brewster.
Sake.
Right, okay.
Big
Right,
Craigie
here we go.
B.
Christie would have been too old in 2004-5
Yeah.
to still be a player manager, wouldn't he?
Aye. Here's the next one then, boys. Tougher one, this one. This is to be this player's second spell at the Pars after returning from Bradford. Although he played most of his career as a centre-half, David Hay played him up front and went on that season to be Dunfermline's top scorer, even scoring
55.
hat-trick. Stevie.
It's a guess. The boy's name Andy Dow.
And you're so close, but I can't give you it. I can't give you it.
56.
Chris Toe.
Alan Gow.
Jesus Christ. Right, okay. I'll continue because I've only got one more clue left. Right, I'll continue with the clue. See if you get it. He scored a hat-trick against Dundee in this season. He made the 300th league appearance for the Pars in 2005 against Livingston, and after his testimonial year in 2006-2007 was released.
Was he in a shot at glory?
No ideas?
No, I've got no idea who that
No.
is.
Was he in a shot at Glory?
I don't think he was, Grado. I know
No.
who you're thinking about.
Nah, no, it's no
No
him.
ideas, Stephen?
Nah.
No. Andy Todd.
Aye, he was. That's Andy Todd.
That was
He
Andy,
was in a shot at
that was Andy Smith, wasn't it? No.
No, it was Andy Todd with the blonde hair and the big nose.
Oh, no.
That's
That's Andy Smith,
That's
Grado.
Andy Smith.
I've been calling him Andy Todd for years. So
Right, okay. This for the win, Stephen, because I've got no more clues left after this. Useless this week. Chris told shit, hang your head in shame. Right, okay, you'll get this one. Get in quick, Stevie. With 49 caps for Brazil, this player arrived at Celtic.
56.
oh,
Juninho.
It is Juninho.
right.
Right, what? It's a draw, right? But
Right, you can have the pies.
do you want to put? I'll go to a different season for a sudden.
I did that.
I go for it. Go
Right,
for it.
okay, let me bring up another season of players here, and we'll go to a playoff. All right. Okay, let's go. Right, 2013, 2014. He's ready.
Fuck's sake, you don't get any for the 80s, John.
I've blanked out all these years.
So have I, by the
Aye,
way.
yes, I was
Nothing,
looking.
nothing existed from 2011 to 16. So
Right, sudden death playoff then. First in with this answer, you should get this one. This player started his career at Hutchinson Vale before joining Hearts' youth programme. After struggling with injuries, he was released by Hearts in 2012, and after a impressive season back at Hutchie Vale, he signed for Hibs in 2015. This player made his debut senior appearance at Hibs in the Premiership against Inverness Cali, and he scored his first career goal. Hibs won Hamilton 2-0.
I've got this.
He won the SPFL Young Player of the Month for September 2014 after his goals helped Hibs to beat Rangers in Glasgow.
Can I give them a clue?
No, you can't give them a clue, Grado.
56.
Chris?
I'm just Gary O'Connor.
No, you're out. You're out. I'll continue with the clue. It should be shooting for you now, Stevie. He became the first Hibs to score in 4 consecutive Edinburgh derbies for 42 years after scoring the winner against Hearts in a Scottish Cup 4th round replay. He missed a penalty kick with the Panenka attempt in the Scottish Cup semi-final.
Oh, come on!
Come on, man.
Which ended goalless, although he later scored the winning kick in the penalty shootout.
I know who it is now.
He went on to have a career at Rangers, Stevie. He played
beat
down
me.
south with Shrewsbury.
At Hibs Training Centre.
Now at Dundee. He's wrestled Grado in the
55.
dressing room.
Fuck's sake.
Stevie, who is it?
Jason Collins.
Well done! Jesus.
Well played.
Do you know, I got that right away for the Hearts, Hutchie Vale Hibs. Because
Yeah.
I remember
you know,
that.
I didn't know who had been at Hearts. There you go. Every day's a school day.
Well, there you
Well,
go.
Stevie boy.
Congratulations.
Well done, mate. Well played.
It's funny, do you know how it's funny like when you're not playing and you know it and you're sitting there going, I know it. It's hard not to do that, isn't it?
I'm as I said, I'm terrible at these things. I like to think that I'm good, but absolutely not.
See, normally, what I'm finding out is I've not paid attention to football for the last 10 years.
Well, Stevie, congratulations. You have won the pies this week, sir. Well done.
Hey!
Well played, Stevie.
Well done,
And 4 lads had a dream of beating us, Chris. They're beating football daft.
Do you know what? 4 lads can have a pie now.
Welcome back to Football Daft. Guys, did you see that thing on Twitter with Tiny Temper, who is apparently going to be releasing a Rangers song? Now, he's muckled up with Balogun, it seems, and I don't think people quite believed it. However, Tiny was on his was on the train the other day, and he taken a wee video for Instagram story, and there's a wee clip.
I did see this.
Right, okay.
Sorry. Mate.
So here's a wee snippet of the song. How good's that going to be, man?
That's brilliant.
I thought he was going to do a remix of Derry's Walls.
Right.
It's talking about Stevie in that song, I think, was it not? 4 lads had a dream, Stevie is a dream.
So, Tiny Temper is doing a song with Balogun.
No, he's not doing the song with Balogun. He's just muckled up with Balogun.
And
that's
Balogun's
how
link, can you
this
write
song
the
has
song?
came about. Aye.
It's like Stevie and Michelle McManus.
It's like Michelle McManus was muckered up to me, so I got a wee fucking gig at the Pavilion. You know what I mean?
Aye, all right, Charlie Nicholas.
Bayface got him there, didn't he?
Oh, I'm getting used to the Vicky right now.
What's
Yo,
the
mate.
connection between Tiny Temper and Rangers then?
John, what are you not getting here?
I
Balogun's
don't
his pal.
understand why Tiny Temper's doing a song about Rangers.
Because
Because his pal's really on Balogun.
Right, okay.
Who has been at other clubs down south where he could have met up with him and been at nightclubs and all that.
I always thought Tiny Temper was American.
There you go. Written in the stars.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, mate-
I look forward to it. You sure this is not like a wind-up like for April
No.
Fools?
He's doing a Dunfermline one and all, so yeah, soon. It's written in the stars.
Yes! Yes!
See, I think I'm learning for over that shit, man.
Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Fucking
It's
brilliant.
written in the pals.
Written
I tell you what, here's a good one then. On Twitter, if you're listening to this bit of the show, give us your songs, Scottish football songs. Written in the pars is a good one to start.
Aye, that's good, man. This is good, isn't it? Right, cool.
Right, we're all going to go quiet now and think, but
Aye, so I'm already thinking.
Hoops
Back at-
upside your head. Burn to run, Bruce Springsteen.
oh, nice.
Fuji's killing me softly.
There you go. There's your task for next week, troops.
Oh my god, I've got so many going through my head, but I can't get written in the pals with my head.
It's written in the pars.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Get them now at notitfaultclaims.com.
Now let's welcome to Football Daft, a midfield magician who has one of the sweetest right foots in the Scottish game. He plied his trade with the likes of Killie, Partick Thistle and Dundee. It's one man every Scottish football would love to have had in their team. It's glorious Gary Harkins. Gary, how are we diddling this afternoon?
Much better after that intro, I'll tell you.
I'm good at that, mate. I'm learning.
Beautiful.
I'm learning, mate.
Hype up the guest.
That's what you've got to do, mate. But you know what? It's what I've just read there is completely true, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really is. You really are a player. I felt as if, you know, even in forums and stuff like that, who would you sign? Rangers and Celtic. A lot of people always used to bounce your name about quite often. Am I right, boys?
Right, absolutely.
Oh, 100%. Every time I
when-
see you, just skillful, mate. So skillful.
Aye.
Every time you
When
look-
I was-
All right, Bobby's not going to shag you, man.
Hey, you never know.
Gary, sorry about the two, mate. This is a
Sorry.
See when I was buttering Gary up to try and get him on the show, I give him that spiel and all, and it's the truth because do you know what? Do you know that way? If the question was asked, who would you sign outside the Celtic and Rangers for your team? Who would you sign? And a lot of my Rangers supporting pals said Gary Harkins, but I used to take great fucking pleasure in saying Gary Harkins would never play for you bastards. Never. In 100 million year.
Is that right, Gary? I need to go now, mate.
Aye,
All
man,
best,
I'm
mate.
off,
Cheers,
man.
thanks a lot, Gary, mate. Cheers.
Right, we'll just do a sing song, Gary.
So, Gary, you've retired, obviously, recently. Yeah, you still going to be involved at junior level and stuff?
Not at all, no. I've just stopped enjoying it, so much happier having a bit of time with myself at the weekends and heading up the hills with a girlfriend and that, so I'm quite happy.
Heading up the hills?
I like a wee hill walk.
Yeah, you climb Goat Fell? Have you climbed Goat Fell?
No.
You've never been to Arran? No?
I've not been to Arran yet, no.
You should try Goat Fell, mate.
You need to go to Arran. mate.
Credo's walked up one hill in his life and he's trying to pass it off as if he knows everything.
And I like catching you there. What kind of house is it? Ben Lomond and all that kind of shit? Aye, you're into.
So, you've been up Tinto.
Aye. So you like your hill walking, that's interesting. So I take it that's. But what I suppose what I really want to ask you is, why were you not enjoying football anymore? It's weird you said that. It was like, no, I hate football.
I played it for 20 years. Then obviously you start dropping the divisions a bit, and it's not as enjoyable, especially the type of player I am or was. It's not as enjoyable. Do you know what I mean? I enjoyed playing at a higher level, having the ambition to play at a higher level. You've got good players around about you. Once I got a bit older, you end up like probably thinking you can do more than the manager as well. So it became a job instead of actually something that I was really enjoying to do. So I decided that was enough for me.
But see, do you still watch football, no? Do you like
I watch it,
aye.
Tell me that, do you still watch it? Do you still...
I just disregard Pippa completely now, don't bother with it.
No, but there is, man, bloody... What's his name that played with Spurs, man? What's his name? David Bentley? He retired and says he doesn't even watch football. Doesn't even watch it.
Transplants went to your head.
That's as
I
bad
fucking
as
hope
me.
so, mate.
By the way, that was every bit as bad as... Have you always liked football before you were away?
Well, Grado skipped that, man. I meant to do that at the start of every show, so I thought I'd have something different, man.
Tell me this one, Gary. Do you still play fives with your mates?
Well, since I retired, we've not been able to meet up with your mates. Never mind play football.
That's true. That's true. Do you not get them round the back like that, Greg Wild, and get a kick about it?
Greg couldn't run out his back garden, can he? Not enough room for him.
Here, see, it's funny when you were talking there about, maybe managers that you were coming across near the end of your career. Was there some managers that you probably had more experiences as well, and I suppose it was probably difficult for you to take their direction and stuff like that? You're thinking behind their back, man. What's he talking about?
No, it's like I never really had any inexperienced managers. It's just when obviously you've been in the game a long time, you work out what you think works and what you want to do, and then you go into, like, say, training sessions and games, and you're not doing the things that you think you should be doing. So it just kind of annoys you. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Especially when if you're not winning, or if things aren't going very well, you're thinking this is rubbish, and it gets you down. I've never been one to like try and cause a problem in the dressing room with that. So I'm not like, you don't bring it up, but it does kind of annoy you.
Aye. How did you sign for Blackburn? What happened? What was the story behind that?
I was at Celtic Youth when I was younger, and the guy John McKenna used to come to the games and watch, and then it obviously come to the time where you're leaving youth and you're going either into apprentices. So he phoned me, said, did I fancy a week trial down at Blackburn? Went down to Blackburn for a week and just loved it. See, just the difference in facilities and stuff like that you had down there compared to even at Celtic at the time. If you were going in full time, you were jumping on a minibus and going to like Glasgow Green or St Aloysius to train. It's not like it is now where they've got Lennoxtown. When I went to Blackburn, it was like we lived on the training ground. Like you stayed with one of the boys in a room in the training ground that you could use a gym at night, you could use the football pitches, it was just a lot. It just seemed so much better to go and try and get better as a footballer there than what it would be up here.
How does that work? Do you see, like you're saying there that you lived on the training ground? Is that not a bit like fucking never leaving the office? I mean, you couldn't exactly bring a bird back to the training ground, could you?
that was frowned upon at that time anyway, because you were only 16. So they weren't encouraging you to get and bring birds back. What
was Souness like, Gary? What about Graham Souness? What was he like to play under?
Oh, he was brilliant. So that was like the thing. I didn't get to see much of them, but I did train with them quite a bit, and obviously played with the reserves and stuff when he was there. And like when I was at Blackburn, I was basically a hard tackling midfielder who passed the ball to I was told when I was a YTS to pass the ball to the good players. So that's kind of what I went in to do when I was there. So Souness loved me because I just got about smashing people. So at that point, but it was always one that I knew that's not how I wanted to play football, and I knew I could kind of do a bit more. So as time went on, it was Ian McCall that actually allowed me to go and do that.
Aye. Did you play with Paul Weaver? Was he doing at Blackburn with you?
I did play with Weaves, yeah.
He's been doing well, aye.
I know Weaves well, aye.
Aye, that's right. Is it just the two years that were doing? And then obviously was Barry down there as well? Was that the three Scottish?
No, there was quite a lot of Scottish boys down there. Ian Black was there at the time.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Well, Blackie was there. Alan Morgan and Adam Nelson as well as an R couple. Big Kieran Renton. So there was quite a few Scottish boys down there at the time. So it was a good week.
How good see when you're down there and you're playing with like Barry Ferguson and Tug Guy, how good were they, mate? Like, were you learning so much after they two?
Oh, brilliant. Like Fergie, I think before he got his injury, was running the show week in, week out. Like, he could have went to any of the teams down there with the way he was playing and ran the show in midfield. He was brilliant to watch. And just the way he would control games. Like, it didn't matter who he was against, he was running the show. Do you know what I mean? It was good to watch.
So, were you at Blackburn when Celtic got them in Europe?
Yes.
You must have had a fucking field day, boy.
I was in a Celtic end.
I know the best part, Gary. I was in the Blackburn end. At Ewen Park, right? And
I get quite a few of my pals' tickets, so we all were in the Celtic end. So it was awkward when everybody was shouting penis at my gaffer, right enough.
That's brilliant, man.
I heard it was you that started it.
No, I wasn't that stupid or brave.
I remember that, man. Fucking, I trust you to bring it up. Total Celtic against Blackburn, man.
Yeah, that's one of my favourite trips ever, going down to Blackburn. It was like a clandestine trip. Had to pick up tickets in a wee pub in the middle of Blackburn off of some guy for the town. I was shitting myself the whole time. It was brilliant, but...
See, you were talking about Ian McCall there. What was he like as a manager? You worked with him at Partick Thistle, and I believe you also worked at the same time with my very good friend, Arbroath captain Ricky Little.
That's right.
You ken Ricky?
He was a young boy.
Yes, he was, and he used to tell me stories. He used to tell us about you, and I'd go, how's Gary Harkins getting on and all that. It was great.
No, he was a very quiet wee guy then.
He's still quite quiet. Quiet.
Guido, man, are you like his agent now or something?
No, he's trying to get my move.
Every fucking guest that comes on, he somehow tangles a story into Ricky Little.
No, I'll not be wrangling him a move because he's going to get a testimonial at Arbroath in the next couple of years. I might be involved in it, so...
You'll get involved in it.
I'd probably try to get you along and all, man. That'd be quite good because you were part of his early career, you know.
I'll play in goals.
But anyway, Ian McCall.
Ian McCall.
So I played him. I played under McCall at Thistle twice now, and then at Ayr as well. And as I said, when I first went to Thistle, he was the one that moved me for centre half and centre mid to be able to play a bit forward and go and express myself and show what I could do on the football pitch. So I'm thankful to him for that. So he was great with me at the time. So no, I enjoyed playing under him.
You always hear stories like he's such a character, didn't you? I'd love to get him on and talk to him. So I've always heard these. Have you got any funny stories about him, mate? Like any eccentric things he done in training?
About McCall?
Aye.
Not really. We used to go to training. And we used to train quite near, like a few miles away from Firhill at times. And it'd be like, right, training's finished, right, you need to run back. So you'd go up in the minibus and then the coach would take the thing back. And one of the days, it was like, it'd been pouring, there was flooding. So as the boys are all running through, obviously you're running through at different times. McCall's driving through big puddles and just soaking you and then turning round and trying to soak you again the way back.
Sounds like fucking Jock Wallace or something, man. Sounds like something he'd do, man. That is brilliant.
Gary, look, you, like Michelle and Grado, have had a bit of fucking criticism about your weight and not working hard enough as a footballer. Do you think that maybe held you back in your career a wee bit?
What, my weight or the criticism?
No, the fact that folk had an opinion about you.
I don't know. I think mine came from my time at Kilmarnock. The gaffer at the time used to just take me off at 60 minutes. So people get the perception that you can't play the 90 minutes.
Aye.
But up until that point, I'd never had a problem in my life playing 90 minutes. I never had a problem in my life playing 90 minutes then. It was just the manager's decision to take you off. And that's when people think, oh, he must be tired or he can't last 90 minutes.
Aye.
Whereas I never ever had that issue. It kind of, that criticism's always annoyed me because I've never been a natural athlete. Like, I was getting beat off the fat kids at school, like when we were running. Do you know what I mean? So I've had to work harder than what most of the players who are all natural and they've been winning their sports days and stuff to be able to keep playing. And then obviously to do it for 20 years, you can't do that if you're lazy or you don't work. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
So you weren't even a big eater or anything like that, no?
No, later.
You know what question's coming next? Grado's going to ask you what your favourite dinner is.
I was going to ask you what you had for your dinner last night.
What did I had pizza last night.
Did you? What, 2 for Tuesdays?
No, Domino's.
I don't know. Andy gets a pizza out with. On what day is this? So it would have been Tuesday yesterday. Where did you get pizza?
You get a real pizza, like a proper pizza.
Do you don't like Domino's?
No, I don't. Like, you feel terrible.
You do, man. You feel as if
Domino's is overrated and overpriced, man.
I see what you mean with a pizza as well.
I see what you mean. My favourite pizzas have got to be that pure, like fucking, what would you say, middle class kebab shop, fucking, do you know what I mean? Spicy chicken, pepperoni.
Do you know what my favourite is? Asda's pizzas. See the ones that they make at the
Co-op ones are good, I know, mate.
You're right. Morrison's number. You've got to get Morrison's number.
But what I'm saying is, I'm saying middle class because, you know, like, you get that Pisano kind of skier, do you know what I mean? Where it's like the fancy kind of...
It's got lettuce and all that on it.
It's got like mozzarella and, you know, it's like in circles and all that, and it's no...
you want a cheese slice.
You do. You want a big fucking... A big
cheese slice heated up with a hairdryer.
That's put me in the mood, man. That's put me in the mood.
So listen...
Grado, you want to go now, mate? You're all right. Me and Toll keep going.
Gary, you're sitting here and you're talking away to Grado. Obviously, you know Grado is one of the greatest wrestlers that's ever laced up a pair of bits. Yeah, you're a bit of a wrestling fan yourself.
I used to like the old WWE back in the day,
Right.
Back when I was younger,
Talk me through that celebration when you nearly fucking killed Jim McAllister.
Oh no, Jim McAllister nearly killed me.
Oh, is it the other way about, was it?
It was the other way about.
What happened?
No, I think it was that time where it was at Vine. Was that? That was going to put, and it was that out of nowhere. Like,
you RKO'd him.
Aye, so we said before the game. I just said before the game, if it happens, like if you score or something like that, we'll do it. And I was like, right, no bother. Thinking that's fine. So I think I scored, and then like I've obviously seen Jim coming. Next minute RKO, and I didn't actually think it would have kicked off the way it did. It was mad.
Just a wee bit of advice, mate. Don't try this at home, Leave it to the professionals. I know that you say that, the Vine, I do actually remember that now.
Aye.
Did it not make Soccer AM and all that, no?
Aye. Randy Orton.
It was a big deal, wasn't it?
Aye, Randy Orton put a tweet out about it or something.
Aye, Randy Orton. Aye, told us to work. Aye, he tweeted us saying working off form or something like that.
Brilliant, by the way. That's superb, man. That's brilliant. That's So what is it? How was your time at the Usher, Kelly? Tell us about that.
Oh, it was great. It's a cracking dressing room. Some really good players in it. Probably, I would say we underachieved. I think we had a really good side there, and should have finished up the league more. But winning that CIS Cup and then doing all right in the league, I really enjoyed it.
No, I'm looking at here and it's saying something about new club and Rangers. What's that shite I'm reading? What did you say?
I was going to bring that up there and on. Go, Gary, do you want to talk us through that, mate? You
mind retracting that?
I'm not retracting it, but
you don't need to, man. We know all that fucking banter, didn't we?
How come he's bringing it up? How come he's bringing it up then?
Because producer John's put it in the notes.
Because. By the way, you were fucking 100% right there.
This is like, honestly, Gary, this is like the best Toll's ever felt because he's actually got somebody in his side this week, know what I mean?
He's usually greeting by this point in the podcast.
It's always Rangers supporters or ex-Rangers players or fucking whatever, honestly.
So Gary, talk us through your comment you made about the 55 times champions of Scotland.
1 times.
Don't start your shite! Yeah, you've made another comment now, fuck's sake.
Front of the Daily Record tomorrow, Gary boy.
You'll be up that fucking hill on Saturday, man. You'll be like, let's phone you prick, you've seen the fucking podcast. How are you doing this hill?
down this hill, there's cunts coming up the other side.
So talk us through what happened, Gary.
Right, so we played Kelly, I think, at the weekend. We had Rangers coming up in the cup. And as I was walking in, like, I got on, or I did get on well with most of the reporters and stuff, and I would be laughing and joking. As I walked in, somebody said to me, "Oh, so you're looking forward to playing Rangers?" And I was like, I just laughing and joking. I've never played them before, so I'm looking forward to it, just with a chuckle. Right, so then went on to the interview, nothing said about it, just like, just interview about the game and then about going to Ibrox and that was it done. And then like that night, I think my phone actually just blew up because the Daily Record decided that that was going to be the front and back page that I'd come out with that one.
Did it make the front and back page? Aye, was it?
Aye, so that was a good crack.
It's a laugh in it, it's a joke in it.
I laugh. I did laugh at it.
Well, man.
You know what? See that kind of stuff. That's what football's all about. The banter.
Exactly. Get over it. Do you know what I mean? It's a carry on. It's a laugh.
Aye, absolutely right.
Aye.
So after was this when you were playing at Dundee?
Aye, at Dundee.
So what was that like? See when you went to Dundee, how did you find it after like where you had been previously and stuff like that?
Okay, I love Dundee. I think that's been my favourite place to play. Just when I went up there, the fans and everyone took to me right away. My manager at the time, Jockey Scott, was amazing. Like, just with how he was with me and how he was with the boys. So no, I loved my time there. 3 times I went back. So you don't keep going somewhere if you're not enjoying it. So no, I loved it back there.
What's the funniest thing you've ever see happen in a football changing room?
What time's this going on at?
It's on
the internet, mate. You can see whatever the fuck you want.
Aye, man.
Aye.
Come on.
Apart from slagging Rangers and that again, guy, you've done enough of that. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's a.
What's the worst thing you've ever saw? What's the craziest thing you've ever saw in a dressing room?
Fuck's sake, Gradle, give one
sake,
question.
man. I know.
4 different questions in like 14 seconds.
Nicest dressing room you've ever been in.
The nicest dressing room. I'll find it hard to pick a funniest one. I think one of the things I do remember, Dundee, I was at Dundee and it was Gordon Chisholm was the manager and we get beat away at Brecon and he came in and was going mental, launched the kettle. So kettle everywhere. A couple of days later we got a bill through because we'd ended up with a kettle in one of our bags and we stole our kettle.
That should have been in the front page of the fucking paper, Gary.
A few, and Chiz as well. Big Craig McEwen. Chiz used to wear these North Face trainers because he's like dodgy knees and that, so these North Face trainers instead of boots. And Big Craig McEwen super glued them to the corridor floor as well, so they were out of commission for a while.
You know, it's funny you're saying, but that Dundee was your favourite club to go to. I don't know. I thought it would have been Kelly with a cup, winning a cup. No.
No, obviously.
Cool, man.
There you go, Grado. That's that question answered.
Man.
Tell me this one. Was that obviously you started off at Celtic, right? But with your reputation through Scottish football, like was said before, was there ever any like option? Were any of the so-called big teams like your Celtic, Rangers, Hibs, Hearts, Aberdeen? Did any of them ever show an interest or come in and try and sign you?
Aye, there was interest a couple of times. We played Rangers in the Scottish when I was at Partick Thistle at Ibrox, and we drew 1 each, and I think I set up the goal. And after that, I remember we were playing, was it St Johnstone away, and we get pumped 3-0. McCall took me off after 60 minutes. I wasn't very good. I got towels and everything launched at me after that game. So I was going home, I was going out that night. I was younger, so I was going the night out, got a phone call from McCall again And I was like, all right, Gaffer, how are you? And he's like, aye, how are you? And I was like, I'm all right, a bit down after today. He's like, I'm phoning to make you feel worse. Rangers were there watching you today and you had a shocker. So.
Oh, fuck. Would you went to Rangers? Would you went, Gary?
I heard you get tipped off before it and that's why you played shite.
You
would you went, Gary, if you got to move? Aye.
Would I have went? Aye. Like, unless I'd have phoned Celtic first. Well, listen.
Here's the deal.
Any chance? No. Obviously, you want to play as a footballer. I've always wanted to play as high a level as I could. And if I could have went to the second biggest team in Scotland, I'd have went no bother.
Yeah, beauty. I'm fucking lapping this up. This is magic.
Oh.
Yeah, see that game? I'm sure I was at that game. Did I not go to a replay with Rangers and Partick?
Replay.
I remember that.
That's not what happens in the cup if it finishes.
No, I know, but I remember it. Who was the Partick Thistle player that was dead wee? Was it Stevie Sunday?
Stevie Murray.
Stevie Murray, that's right. I remember him. He had a good game that night. I remember that.
That's right.
Stevie Murray always played well against Rangers. He's a dyed in the wool, Tim. Stevie, so he is, aye.
He was always...
You going to get him on next week too?
I actually know Stevie. His brother used to be my postman. I'm not even kidding, but his brother Anton.
Right, and we seen you at this pub.
Aye, he was actually a fucking wido.
So, Gary, looking back, man, obviously you've had... I'm trying to just break the two up. They're going to start fighting again, you know what I mean? Looking back on your career, Gary, all the managers like Ian McCall and stuff, who's the best and who's the worst managers you've worked under?
The best managers I've worked under, well, as I said, I loved my time with Jockey. Jim Duffy was brilliant. That was coming towards the end of my career. I still don't know why nobody's given him a bigger job recently. He's top drawer. Worst managers, I don't know if I can.
You can say it's all right, mate.
Aye, come for you too, that's fine.
We want the dirt. We want the fucking dirt, man.
I know. There's just some managers you don't go on with, isn't there?
Aye.
Computer, man.
So, I don't, like, obviously there's a few that were not very good for me, but there was a guy, Alan Buckley at Grimsby, and I hated that guy, man.
That's how you really feel, mate.
I get off that fence, Gary.
He used to just like make things hard for me, and I remember we're playing two-touch one day, and he proper tried to volley a ball at me, like as hard as you could with his little foot, and I just
his little foot.
So he's obviously
how little was his foot?
So I just popped the ball back up and I volleyed it right off his dish, and that was one of my favourite days.
My story, man, it's brilliant.
So obviously as time went on there, like he was making things that I was getting in squad and I was running myself like every day. He was sending me running or training with kids. So one of the days, like at Grimsby, we had this wee training ground, and the wee bit where you would go in and get dinner after it, and it looked out onto the pitch. So he was in there having his dinner, and I think I'd just finished like probably an hour running drill, and he'd left his car open. So I took the handbrake off his car.
What?
And just started pushing it by the window for the other side. Left it on the pitch and went home. So that went down well.
But Gary, apart from all that, was you all right? But
man, yeah. I hope he's doing well now.
So Gary,
that's brilliant.
Just before we move on to the quiz here, what's your plans? What's next for you? Are you planning getting back into football, maybe coaching or managing or anything like that?
Not at the moment, no. I got a couple of offers to go back playing there when the league started again, but I've not missed it, to be honest. It's been a long time where it takes up your whole life, do you know what I mean? So I've been quite happy. I'm not saying like in the future I'll maybe not want to go into coaching or something like that, but at the moment I've not really any plans on going back in it at all.
I can see Gary on the bench, man. Alan Buckley's assistant. Know what I mean?
Right. What's your brother doing? Is your brother still playing football?
No, he was the same as me. He was at Gartcairn with me there, but with the league kind of going ski with. He's not playing at the moment. I'm not sure if he's going to go back playing junior next year, but he was some player. He was unlucky not to go higher.
I thought that. I know. That's right. Christ.
Well, Gary, we really appreciate you coming on. See, at the end of every interview, we do a wee 90-second Scottish football quiz. You good for that?
Right. Aye, go for it.
Right, so recently we've had some brilliant attempts at it, to be honest with you. David Martindale was on a couple of weeks ago, and he's at the top of the tree with 16 correct answers.
Yeah.
In joint second, we've got John Sutton and Chick Young with 15. We've got Mark Wilson and Keith Lasley tucked in behind them with 14. Other selected scores include Alan Archibald on 11, Lawrence Shankland on 7, and Andy Gray on 6. At the bottom, it's a tie between Peter Lovencrans, Derek Johnson, Craig Levine, and Mick Supatalainen. They're all sitting on 3.
You know what Gaylor's going to say? Barry for EastEnders.
I don't get why we don't put that fucking Barry for EastEnders got 4. Why is that no in there?
Barry for EastEnders get 4, mate.
Aye. On a Scottish football quiz.
Aye, you done well, mate.
And the thing is, Grado's making a big deal going, why are we not putting Barry in there? And Gary's sitting going, cool, man, I don't give a fuck. Barry for EastEnders was on.
I'm just trying to work out how much Barry for EastEnders had to say about Scottish football. That's quality.
By the way, let me tell you a story. See, he's interested, Bob. I know you can't see me, or you can't see you, but listen, he's a quiz master. He reads loads of quiz books and goes on. He was on the Chase on Sunday night.
What did he get 120 grand on the Chase or something?
So, aye. So he was Rangers are 14 points ahead, and Hibs top scorers Kevin Nisbet and all this. He was good.
Stuff, by the way, he really did know his stuff.
Aye.
So I think he's a bit of a swat when it comes to sports and stuff. So he did know.
And he only got 4. So.
That's true, actually.
Aye, man, he's fucking brilliant, man. He's great. He's so brainy.
I know. The best part is the 4 questions he got were about EastEnders.
So are these just random questions, or are they all the same?
No, they're questions about Scottish football, mate. So they're pretty. You should be all right. But
you've got 90 seconds, Gary, but you can't pass. Even if you don't know the answer, you must give a answer. Right? Aye.
Right, so I'm gonna start the questions. John, have we got 90 seconds on the clock?
We certainly have.
Right, and your time starts now. Which Scottish side did Leicester player James Maddison play with on loan?
Aberdeen.
What team did you get your only under-21 cap against?
I never got an under-21 cap.
Who's made more overall appearances for Rangers, Alan McGregor or Stephen Davis?
Alan McGregor.
Well, who was the second club Blackburn loaned you out to?
Bury.
Other than Hibs, name any Scottish club Jackson Irvine's played for.
Ross County.
Name either scorer for Scotland in the World Cup group matches. In the World Cup 98 group matches.
Oh, 98. Simon Donnelly.
Who was the only permanent Hamilton manager immediately before Brian Rice?
Jason Scotland, no idea.
How many league appearances did you make for Steny?
3.
Shea Logan has joined which championship side on loan?
Hearts.
Which club does Scotland international Callum Patterson play for?
Cardiff.
Which Scottish Premiership?
Oh, Sheffield Wednesday.
Which Scottish Premiership side features a steelwork on their club crest?
Motherwell.
In what year did you have your second spell at Dundee?
2015.
Alphabetically, which Scottish Premiership team comes after Aberdeen?
Cove.
Which club does Jason Cummings currently play for?
Dundee.
Dundee, you got that one right.
Do you know what, Gary? See if your comments about Rangers, I'm glad you got that one right a minute ago. It was Celtic, mate. It was Celtic, mate.
What, in the
Premier? Scottish Premiership team comes
I'm not listening to the questions.
Here, John, you need to sort these questions. That's embarrassing. You didn't get an under-21 cap. You're right that in the thing.
I know, what's that about?
Where'd you get that?
I've got to get a point for that.
Gary,
You do get a point because you answered it correctly.
I'll give you a bonus point for that because I'd left that in from last week, so apologies for that.
Fuck's sake, man.
I'll go through the wrong answers for you. You got off the fire despite the under 21 cap.
I'm like, why did we not speak to him about getting another 21 squad?
Scorers for Scotland in the World Cup 98 group matches. You could either have John Collins, which was against Brazil, or Craig Burley against Norway. No, it's Simon Donnelly, unfortunately. Martin Canning was the Hamilton manager before Brian Rice. You got it. I have to accept your first answer. It was Sheffield Wednesday that Callum Patterson played for, not Cardiff.
Right.
Yeah, man, at no point.
You never ever said at any point that had been my first answer.
Aye, he's right.
Oh, yeah, that's how quizzes work. You can't give a wrong answer and then give a right answer.
Well,
No,
you've done it before.
Aye, but quizzes usually have the right questions in it as well.
Yeah,
questions to me.
Yeah, Toe, I didn't see you back Andy Gorham up like this when he got a few right.
I can't go him up against a wall.
Right, I'm not going to give you that one. Second spell at Dundee, I've got 2013 down. I think was your second spell. Aye, and alphabetically, which Scottish Premiership team comes after Aberdeen? It's Celtic. But you did all right, mate. Giving you that bonus one at the start. 9.
Well played, Gary. That's good shout.
That's
good.
Yeah.
Gary, cheers, mate. We really appreciate you coming on, but mate, I appreciate it, bud.
Thanks very much, Gary. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, lads.
All the best, mate.
All the best, pal. Right, take care.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Call them now on 01698 767 172.
Right, troops. Gary Harkins, Stevie for Four Men Had a Dream or whatever it's called.
4 lads had a dream.
Fucking what a day of it. What a day of it.
We had the man for Brora Rangers on.
Cammy.
We had Cammy for Brora Rangers.
Right, it's been a fucking star-studded show today, boys.
It has been. It's like, do you know what it's been like? It's been like an episode of Top of the Pops.
Aye, it has been. It's the fucking who's who of Scottish football. I mean, everybody was there. The only thing we're missing was, I mean, he still gets mentioned. Ricky Little gets mentioned. Jerry Cleany get mentioned.
Moose.
The Buffs.
Do you know what? See, if we hadn't had such a packed show this week, I would probably tell you my Big Brother story.
Oh, mate, I've totally forgot about that, mate. What was the crack anyway?
Aye, we never did
listen,
that, did we?
come on, it's going to, we've been recording here for nearly fucking 3 hours. Tell you another time.
Save it for next week.
Yeah.
Aye,
Groovy.
Right, boys.
Groovy. So anyway, there's nothing left to say but Big Mixu.
Big Mixu.
Before it was going to go viral.
We need to get Ewen Cameron to do it on his Twitter, then it'll go viral.
Audio Frontier.